Hi, this is Cheryl with Peace and Power Movement Services. I want to share with you a little bit today about working with a stiff neck. I don't know if some of you may have had the experience. You wake up and your neck is stiff and sore and you're not really sure why. Or maybe after a day at work, you realize that in fact, you've got a headache or a stiff neck. And and you may have other more advanced, more serious conditions going on, like the beginning of arthritis in your cervical neck. There's things that you can do to support your movement and to decrease your pain. And so I just want to share with you a couple of ways you can work with yourself to create a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more softness through using your neck. And so the first I want to kind of talk about is often the stiffness comes because we've been doing some kind of habitual movement. So I'm on a lot of Zoom calls these days, you are probably too, and I notice the cocked head listening pose. And so the challenge is that we might notice stiffness or pain in our neck by doing something, but that event of lifting or shoulder checking or doing some kind of movement that we notice the pain, probably the culprit is a lot more related to how many hours you spent the day before in this kind of pose or in this kind of pose, looking down at your screen. So it's really important to go through what I would call degrees of movement. And so, we've got several vertebrae in our neck. All of them have movement possibilities. But, to hone in on just, visualizing a sense of, it's helpful to touch the base of your skull and to think about the degrees of movement that you could move your neck from here. So I'll just show a few of them. So this sense of just that top vertebrae to move up, to move down, but also that you could go through, almost in a kind of compass kind of way, a degree of movement all the way along the possible turn radius, and to go through that gently, slowly, with a real sense of moving the base of your skull. And I just want to mention a difference. It's not the same as lifting your chin up. That certainly has an impact of the base of your skull, but I'm suggesting that you actually move from here. So of course my chin moves, it's attached to my skull, but this sense of just exploring some small movements within your comfortable range of motion. So small, slow, conscious movement, better than hard and fast, especially for all the delicate muscles in your neck. Often though, one of the things that leads to neck tension, not just what we're doing with our head, what's happening with our shoulders and our upper back. And so one move that I find really helpful to help take on some of the work of holding the weight of the head and the neck is to do some wake up work with your upper trapezius muscles. So this is the broad band of muscles that attaches along your neck and comes out towards your shoulder blades. And so there's a particular way that's really helpful to do this. The fancy name is called pendiculation. And so what that means is a slow contraction up and an even slower release down. So almost as if you're melting the muscles to their length. And so helpful to do a few times, especially if it's stiff, to be really slow and gentle at the beginning and allow this melting process to reintroduce the length that's possible for your muscles. So of course, this is different than just forcing that length, making that muscular adjustment. This is a move that supports your nervous system to reacquire what the possibilities are for your movement. So these are just 2 quick suggestions around dealing with a stiff neck. I kind of want to leave you with a message that, you know, there are things you can do with your movement to support your sense of wellness, to reduce how much stiffness or pain you're feeling. It's really bringing an intention in to using movement in this way, bringing your attention in a very specific way to your movement and to your body, and then moving in a way that you can listen and learn from your movement. So hope this was helpful for you. If you're curious to learn more, please come visit my website, sign up to my list. I'm sharing regularly lots of resources to support your moving towards wellness and towards wholeness. Thanks for tuning in, and hope you have a fluid and mobile neck. Take good care.